Zone at 91.3 presents The B-Side.
Dan, come man.
Dylan Willis.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, Jason. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great.
Good.
What's on the B-side today, man?
So, an election's on my mind. So, I
Sure.
don't, do you guys know that I actually was a politician once?
I did know. Well, I did know because you and I had a very interesting conversation about your political career in a parking lot in the middle of the Silicon Valley.
Oh, okay. On Google Bikes?
Nope, we had just gotten off a train and drank a 40 of Crown Royal.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Silicon Valley is just the greatest place.
Well, and we were going to the Bridge School benefit, right? So, yeah, when I was younger, I didn't know better. I went to Mardi Gras. I was kind of having a quarter-life crisis. I was in my early 20s. And I came back and I passed out inside my doorway. What happened was at Mardi Gras, I went down there and I didn't mean to get to Mardi Gras. I meant to go to the Grand Canyon. And I thought I'd check out New Orleans on the way. And then it turns out Mardi Gras was on. And so I was like, well, I better stay for this. And I ran out of money in short order. And I had to get home. So I was like, I had like a Jeep YJ. And I had to drive that thing 22 hours straight because I had enough money for gas and McChickens. And that was it. That was like the only way I was going to make it. So I came home and I had 22 hours of driving, not safe, fell asleep inside my door. And I was woken up by a snowplow as I went by. And I was like, I wonder who decides when the snowplow goes by. And so I started looking into municipal politics. And like 9 months later, I was a city councilor. So politics has been important to me. It actually was a great experience. My advice to anyone who's thinking about it is definitely consider it. It wasn't for me. I didn't run again. I wouldn't do it again. But there are some really good people who do run for office and do want to make a difference. And it's so important. And you know, I think the demographic of your listenership is the one that really needs to hear about it this time because in the last election, or actually in this coming election, I saw a stat. I didn't bother to validate its truthfulness, but that 5.8 million voters are between 18 and 30. 5.9 million voters elected our last government.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
Right? And so I mean, they have a massive impact. The whole idea that, well, it doesn't matter, it doesn't count. Listen, you're making an excuse. You know it matters and you know it counts. What you haven't done is any of the homework, right? And it's hard and it's complicated, right? And there's no one candidate that's going to meet all of your criteria, right? So one's going to be here on an issue and one's going to be here on an issue. And you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to decide what spirit and what platform aligns with you the most. But people got to get out. And I'll tell you what, one thing I learned from being in politics, and I helped run a few campaigns afterwards, the last 10 days, right now, this is when an election is won. What happens over the next 10 days is really going to determine what's happening. And I know that the election was called early for a reason, and it was to tire us out, right? And I don't care who you vote for. I just care that you vote. And right now, you're going to see the issues that really matter. All the platforms are out now. All the major policies are out. Most of the gaffes, you know, whoever said whatever on Twitter and Facebook, it's over. You know, the court trials are behind us. It's time to make a decision. And people got to get out. It's next Monday, not 3 days from now, but 10 days from now is the election. Make sure you're registered. You can check that online. But what I want to talk about today is the Vic Votes crew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we've had these guys in. They're fantastic.
Yeah, so, you know, when we're always trying to pick a B-side, we're looking for entrepreneurial, innovative, and obscure things. And I wouldn't say this one's obscure in the fact that they were on the stage at Riff. They've been on the Zone already. But what they're doing is really cool. It is a B-side. Voting is a B-side for people 18 to 30, right? It's just not on the top of their mind, and it's complicated. And so they held a town forum at the event center. They were on the stage at Riff, and basically this is Kevin and Joel, Kevin Emmon and Joel Hibbard. They got together during the city elections last year. And their goal was one thing: let's get more youth out to vote. Let's get more young people voting. And so they got involved with it this year. They've got some resources online. They got a Facebook page that you can follow. But you know, I just want to applaud them. They're just doing this as a volunteer thing, and they got a team of volunteers behind them. And they have one mission: let's get more people voting. And you know, at the municipal level, it's pretty bad, right? It's 20 to 30% of the people vote. At the federal level, it's dropped down to about 60, and it used to be about 80%. It used to be 90 and more percent. So this time coming around, look online, talk to your friends. There's resources out there available. Check out VicVotes.ca. You know, there's ways to figure out if you want to look at the strategic voting thing. I'm not sure that's a good idea or not, but there's resources for that. Look at there's Vote Compass is another good one that I've seen online.
That is a very good one. Yeah,
they ask you a bunch of questions, and by the time you're done, they kind of tell you which party you align with more. I don't align with anybody entirely. You know, I probably do not align with a few people entirely. In this election, but take a look, figure out what really matters. You know, is Bill C-51 the one that really matters? Is legalization of marijuana the one that really matters? Is the freedom for you to wear what you want at a citizenship ceremony what matters to you? Is the environment or the economy what matters to you? the end of the day, it doesn't matter. There's 6 million people that are 18 to 30 that could make a difference in this election right now. And they got to get out there and have their voices heard. I think it's really healthy. We got 4 parties. I think that's exciting. I live in Elizabeth May's riding. She's the hardest working MP in the country. And she brings something to the debate that otherwise isn't heard. So I'm excited about that. I'm not worried about vote splitting. I'm just worried about people voting.
Nice.
Really, there's nothing else to say. That was a fantastic message right there. I echo everything that you say. And if people want more information on the Vic Votes and everything else you mentioned, best place to go?
Always check thebside.com.
Dan Gunn, thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.